Hey, and welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be talking about my string of hearts care. I'm feeling very monotone right now. My name is Brooke, and this is a channel where I talk about houseplants and do DIYs. And we are struggling to find a camera angle. Today I am going to be doing a repot. So I don't know why I did this because it's been a while since I filmed the video. So here we are with all of the awkward intros. But I want to do a repot and a little care share about, I should coin that, care share. Plant care share. Doesn't make any sense. About my string of hearts. So I have a variegated string of hearts right here, and then I have a really large one and long one right here, and I need to repot it. So yes, and I need to repot this one as well. In my previous videos, and I don't even know, experience, string of hearts, string of turtles, string of things in general tend to be very difficult to repot. So I'm not looking forward to this one. But I have also in my care found out that their root system is pretty shallow. So I got a string of turtles and it was in a pretty thick pot. And I actually repotted it into a thinner but bigger, like wider mouth pot, and it's doing really well. And so that's what I'm going to be doing for these two guys. This one's super, like, it's great. It's super small and it's doing really well. So I actually did another video where I propagated my mother plant, and I took 2 parts of it and did a bunch of propagations. They are either down in my greenhouse cabinet, or I put one recently in my little terrarium, but this guy has been growing outside of it and it's filling the pot very nicely. But I found this lavender pot in Florida and I bought it, and it's just so pretty, and it's the perfect like shallow dish for this plant, and the color is like perfectly matched. So I'm going to pot this up in this. And then for my larger string of hearts back here, which is going to be a rural trip to do, I have picked up this pot. Where did I pick this up from? I feel like Walmart for $5 is what I want to say. Yeah, Better Home and Gardens. I believe this was $5 on sale. And so I thought it would be great for my string of hearts because it still is fairly shallow. It honestly might be the same thickness as that one, but it has a really wide mouth, and that's perfect for string of things to cling to and crawl on and grow around. They obviously will cascade, but I would like a full top and then cascade. So that's what we're going to be doing today, is potting those two guys up. And I'll talk about a little bit about their care, like what I have done to keep them looking nice and growing. So if you haven't, take a minute and subscribe to my channel. And if you are a recurring viewer, thank you so much for coming back and watching another video. Okay, so let's do the easy one first. This string of hearts has been growing under my Barina T5 grow lights, and that is my #1 tip on these guys: light. If you want them to grow really well, and this goes for string of turtles as well, string of pearls, string of anything, give them a really high light source. And I mean like direct light. My mom has hers in, I believe, an east-facing window directly in her like window, and it gets direct light. And it's growing super long and beautiful, and it blooms constantly. So I would say #1 tip for these: highlight. My string of turtles loves highlight. I did have it when I first purchased it in a lower light situation because they can tolerate it. However, they are not going to grow or really progress the way you probably want these guys to progress if you don't give them a highlight source. And so highlight meaning, I don't know, 600-foot candles if you have a light meter. I put them in a southwest facing window, or, you know, west facing window is always best, or you have an east facing window just directly in the window. But this guy specifically sits under my T5 Barina grow lights, and it has grown very well. My Barina grow lights in my bedroom, this is where that guy sits, are actually like, I don't know, probably 5 inches from it. It's pretty close, to be fairly honest. I keep typically more small, compact plants under there because you don't want them to burn. But this guy has done extremely well, and it has grown so much, seriously, since I've repotted it into this pot. And the variegation on it is really nice versus when I first potted this up. I actually potted it up in this separate pot because it had the least amount of variegation on my mother plant. But now it has so much, and you can see all this new white growth here. It's all brand new, great variegation. So give it the best light that you can. Now here, again, shallow pot, this little, I don't even know what, it doesn't have a specific size on this. I would say this is a 2-inch pot, so maybe this is a 4-inch round, and I am going to keep everything that's in here just in it and repot it. So this is my soilless soil mix that I used. It's been doing great. I haven't had any issues with it. I water it about maybe every month, once a month. So that's the other thing too on these. They don't like to be over watered. So typically in string of things, you don't have to water them every week unless you're getting really high light and really hot and humid condition to where the soil is drying out completely. But in my home setting, it does not dry out that fast and it doesn't like to be watered that often. But I did have a tip that I think I unsuccessfully did it. I kind of did it too much, where Sharina, I cannot remember her handle, but years ago, she had a really long, luscious string of hearts, like variegated string of hearts. And she said that she actually waters it, not when the soil is completely dry, when it's like the last inch of soil is dry. And I started doing that, and I think I overwatered it and started to kill it. So I stopped doing that, and now I just water once a month. That's what I do. So if you want to, be consistent and water it when the last inch of soil is still wet, go for it. I think that they like it. Hers is growing beautifully, but in my care, I just water it once a month and it's fine for me. But this, I'm just going to literally try, because I didn't get my soil mat out, or my mat, which I don't know why I didn't get my potting mat out. I'm just going to try and be as gentle as possible because they are susceptible to moving. I said it at the beginning where it is really a traumatic process sometimes, repotting string of things, string of turtles. I did that a couple weeks ago and lost a ton of turtles because they just, they just fall off so easily. So I try to be as gentle as possible and not move too much of the roots, but it's a little difficult. So this plant, it's got so many little tubers. Well, that's just tragic because I did not repot this well at all. I need to get a plant mat. Hold on. Don't know why I didn't do this earlier. Plant pot. We're just dumping it. So these guys, string of things, have tubers on them, and I'm trying to get them. You can see them right here. Right there, that little round thing. If you actually cut those off and you stick them in like sphagnum moss or a perlite, you can propagate them off of that and it will become its own little plant. But I've tried to do it on an alocasia before and was not successful because they have similar things and just, it wasn't successful. So I kind of don't mess with any of it. I just am sticking it in the pot and leaving it be. But if you do want to create more plants and you unpot your string of things like that and see those, you can definitely just pop them up, cut them off and pop them up and grow a new plant. You can also propagate these guys by their cuttings, like just cutting off the leaves and propagating them. I have seen people do single cutting leaves, but I don't know. My personal experience, I feel like that's not worked because I have tried it before, like do a butterfly cut or whatever, where you take 2 of the leaves and just pop them in like a sphagnum moss or something. I just feel like it would take a really long time. So I have taken cuttings, like strips of them, and it's worked out well, but never just like a single leaf cutting. But you can. I would say the leaves will find their way and it'll be okay. Don't know that it looks prettier, but here it is. It definitely needs to be filled on this side. It's only on this side, but we'll just let it grow. So that is what I'm doing with that guy. Again, this was just a propagation of my mother plant, so it's done very well and it has been successful. I did, again, take just a cutting from it. I did not do the tuber or single leaf cutting. I just cut it like you would a pothos, which is like right in between a leaf, and then stuck it in water. I actually think I stuck these in sphagnum moss because I felt like I could control the moisture and just be a lot better. But that's for that guy. I do need to add a bit of soil to it. Oh my gosh. So this is my soilless mix, which I do have on my Etsy shop. You can find it in the link below. But I'm just going to add in and fill in the space here because it is a little bare. And then I will water that guy in. So there he is. It will fill out and it will be great. And it will be really pretty in this pot. Okay, next is a really difficult one. My massive string of hearts back here. So I don't really know what I'm going to do. I think I'm just going to keep the soil on it. I had this bag because I was going to take all the soil off of it. But again, in my experience, string of hearts and things just have a shallow root system and they're easy to break and get very stressed out. So I think in order to alleviate some of that issue, I'm just going to keep the soil on it and repot it as is. That will save it from being, I think, shocked a lot, and it will save it from breaking, hopefully, but we'll see. So I got this from Walmart. Actually, my sister found it for $13. And that's a really good deal on a string of hearts because the little one that I propagated my last little repot up from was $25 for a small 4-inch pot. And so this guy is grown so much, has grown so much since I caught it. Crazy how well it's done. So this sits or hangs here. And that light that you're seeing up here is a 35-watt Barina grow or Sansi grow light. And there are Barina grow lights all throughout this. And I have another Sansi grow light above me. So there's a lot of light coming from this side of the room, and it sits closest to the Sansi grow light, 35 watt. So it really likes that and is happy. It doesn't get direct light, I would say, but you can see like it does get like a good amount of light. There's a lot of shadows coming off of it from that Sansi light. But I would say if you want these to grow and grow well, again, light is key. Light is key with any plant, but especially this plant, you want a lot of light. This has already dropped 2 leaves, but they are shriveled. So that's my other tip on when to water is if you're not sure and you are just nervous about it, you can look at the plant's leaves and you can see like, are they shriveling up? Do they look like just wrinkly and, you know, they're lacking? If that's the case, then you can water. You can also test them out by like feeling how pliable their leaves are. If they bend really easily and you're just able to fold the little leaf in half, needs to be watered. If it's a lot harder to do that and they just kind of, you know, you're not bending them as easy as you could, I guess, it probably doesn't need to be watered. I don't know how to explain that any better, but if there's resistance on you bending the leaves, probably doesn't need to be watered. Just wait. If they're pliable, maybe water it. But I'm going to try and take this out of the pot. The other reason I wanted to repot this is because there is just a lot of dead growth coming on the top. And I just want to get it all out of there and get it gone and have it be fresh and looking nice. So this is my I don't even know what I'm saying right now. That's my test. This is my challenge. I'm just going to try to be as gentle as possible. Got to get these things off here first. Just going to get the dead leaves, which I guess they're going to fall off anyways. Okay, you can see like it's becoming bare on top too. If that's the case of your string of things, you can take the little runners or the actual, you know, trailing parts, and you can start twisting them back up top. Even put a bobby pin in them, like around their vein, around their vine, and just to keep them there. But that's how you would create a more full plant without having to cut it and propagate it and repot them all together. So we're going to just twist this guy over, and I can already see a ton of little leaves falling off. We have a vine here that's also dead, so I need to remove that. I also see fungus gnats. Ooh, I don't know. I don't really want to repot it completely, but I do see a lot of gnats flying around this. I've only watered it once since I got this plant, so that's not a good sign. Hold on, I have to. Oh, that's a good That's good. This is like the best root system that I've seen. Even my string of turtles was like in a pot like this. It did not have this good of a root system. Now I can guarantee you it has a good one now that I've repotted it, but this guy has a really good root system, far better than I've seen for most string of things that I have owned. Now I don't like a lot of string of things. If you are new here, you won't find me with a string of pearls or a string of tears or a string of bananas. They weird me out and I do not like the way they look, but I do love the string of turtles and the string of hearts. I think that they are very beautiful, and I have once owned a string of dolphins because they were just hilarious and they legitimately look like dolphins, so I couldn't pass it up, and it was $10 for like a massive 8-inch pot. I did kill them, if anybody is wondering. I am just going to try to shimmy some of the soil off and just shake it off. I'm not going to break the roots per se, but I am getting any loose soil off of them. Look how beautiful that is. What if you just grew this upside down? How cool would that be? I don't know how you would do that. You'd create like a mesh top or something so the soil wouldn't like completely go through. I don't know. I think that's as much as I'm going to get off of here without completely breaking down the root system. I'm just going to keep it at that. There's a lot of tubers in here, and we're going to get the pot. So this pot is going to be perfect for this, and I actually think it will be great and have a lot of room to grow now that I know that the roots are so well established. So that sticks right in there, and then I'm just going to backfill the pot with my soilless soil. Also got it tangled. I saw that somebody once used a detangler brush to separate their string of things, which I thought was hilarious, but apparently it worked. So again, going in with my soilless soil. Yeah, I'm losing hearts, brand new ones at that. So this is that right now. It's repotted and it's good. I'm not going to try to untangle all of that because it is a tangled mess right now, but I would just let it settle. That probably won't let it settle. I'll probably end up detangling it and losing millions of hearts. It is what it is at this rate. This is also why I don't enjoy string of things, because the just impossible untangling mess that they provide is maddening to me. But this is really pretty. I really love it. It is really hilarious how they're all just a jumbled mess. But again, it's a plant. It'll find its way out and it'll be great. But that was really it. Those were my care tips on the watering. Light is very important. Repotting, you know, honestly, you could probably wait a really long time to repot these. I wouldn't even know if you would do a normal like 1-year repot with this. So somebody can let me know in the comments below in your experience. But that's been my experience with them. They have been easy to care for in regards to string of things. So I definitely would recommend this or the string of turtles. Found those to be the easiest string of things for me. Otherwise, that was all I got. So thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time.